A young Taliesin was drawn from the water at dawn. He did not cry, but he watched. A child wrapped in leather who was sent adrift and carried by fate into the hands of a man called Elfin. A man with little luck and no reason to expect a miracle, but yet he held one. The child named Taliesin, radiant brow, the light he carried was older than any name. Even as a child, he did not speak as other children did. His words were measured, deliberate, and ancient. "I have been many things," he said one evening as the fire bent low. "I have been a drop in the air, a blade in the hand, a star before the sky knew darkness." Elfin listened, and though the words made no sense, he believed. But truth spoken at the wrong moment can be dangerous. At the court of a powerful king, Malgan Gwynedd, a ruler crowned in pride and power, Elfin spoke far too boldly in a moment of foolishness, though some might say it was fate. "My wife," he said, "is more virtuous than any in this hall, and my bard, though still young, is greater than all of yours." Silence rang in the hall of the king, then laughter, and then anger. The king did not smile. He did not argue. He simply gave the order. "Let your wife prove her virtue, foolish man," the king said coldly, "and let your boy prove his worth, if he dares." Elfin was seized and dragged from the hall and cast into the shadows. When the news reached Taliesin, he did not tremble. He did not rage. He stood, still as stone, certain as the tide. "It is time," he said, and alone the boy walked toward the hall of the kings. As Taliesin walked through the halls of the king, they saw him and laughed, looking at him like he was just a boy, short of being a man. Around him stood the king's bards, men of skill, men of training, and of long reputation. Voices that had filled these halls for years, voices that had never been challenged, until now. The king's bards stepped forward one by one. They sang first of battles, of blood, of lineage, and glory. Their words were strong, yet practiced. Then came the silence. They turned to the young man. "Let the boy speak," they said. Taliesin stepped forward, not hurried, not hesitant, and when he spoke, the air itself seemed to listen. "I have been where you have not been," he began. "I have seen what you have not seen. I was with the shaping of the world. I have walked its edges and its depth. I am not taught, I remember." The bard shifted uneasily. This was no ordinary poet. This was something older, something deeper, something dangerous. The bards answered him, or at least tried to, but their words faltered, their rhythms broke, their certainty cracked. Taliesin spoke again, much sharper now, like a blade drawn clean. He stripped their boasts bare. He named their ignorance. He turned their pride into silence, and one by one they fell quiet. At last, only the king remained, watching, measuring, no longer amused, no longer certain. "Who are you, boy?" he asked. Taliesin did not bow. He did not lower his gaze. "I am Taliesin," he said, "and I speak the truth where others speak to please." And in that moment, the hall belonged to him. The king leaned back in amazement, in shock, for he had never seen such learned bards, more powerful bards than his be thoroughly dismantled. Like this, a mere boy. Long silence, a heavy silence, then a single word of command. Elfin is released. The iron gates flew open, darkness lifted, and the man who had believed in a miracle was returned to the light. That day was not the end. It was merely the beginning. The rise of a bard who did not flatter kings but faced them. A voice that carried more than praise. It carried memory, truth, and power. And from that hall onward, Taliesin would walk beside warriors and shape their names into legend.